Good afternoon to you from Trust Stadium in Henderson, New Zealand. It's match day 2 of the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational, and I'll be describing the action for you throughout match day 2 with my good friend and colleague Paul Tui, OFC Futsal expert. And the first match up today, Solomon Islands and New Caledonia, a must-win for both teams. They were losers on match day 1. And the door to the semi-finals will close for one of these two sides as we prepare for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of the Solomon Islands.
Solomon Kurukuru, a side with plenty to prove today.
And now the national anthem.
New Caledonia and the national anthem. Well, what they lacked in technique, they provided in application and endeavour. They'll be required to do that and more this morning as they try and overturn a Solomon Islands team that is wounded after last night's defeat to New Zealand. You can see there the table. Malaysia topping the group, 8-4-3 against New Zealand in second place, and the Solomon Islands and New Caledonia yet to get off the mark. They must win to have any hope of sneaking through to the final 4. Elliot Rigomo and Jeffrey Boulay were perhaps two players who had contrasting fortunes last night. Boulay scored a wonderful goal late on in the defeat to New Zealand, but Rigomo will be expected to step up to the plate, the skipper. For New Caledonia, Ronan Usen, the goalkeeper, was a star turn. He pulled off a raft of important saves. It was an important contribution by Thierry Waimar as well as skipper Ivan Poroworo. You can see there the two sets of 5 as they line up. It's Talo in goal, Egeta, Lealafa, Boulay and Osafelo, while Poroworo, Waimar, Saihuliwa, Uzen and Corner start for the New Caledonians. The match officials for this game, Chris Sinclair of New Zealand and his compatriots Francois Kukurulo and Campbell Kirk War. The timekeeper is Darius Turner of Australia. So Paul, an extraordinary situation we find ourselves in with the Solomon Islands perhaps on the verge of elimination should they not rise to the occasion.
Yes, indeed, Gordon. A historic night last night for New Zealand. But this Solomon side is very experienced. These guys have been together since they're 10 years old. They've had situations like this, perhaps not in Oceania before, but they've had to fight and scrap their way through some difficult games at World Cups, and you know, it really at this stage it's still on for them. If they can win today, they put pressure back on Malaysia and New Zealand. That's going to be a difficult game tonight. And of course New Caledonia as well, they're still in it, and I think I'm really looking forward to this one. It'll be very interesting to see Solomons if they try to put pressure on that New Caledonia side in their own half. They did it last night against New Zealand. It wasn't entirely successful. Mannequin was given too much space and he really punished them. But interesting to see the gloves on the players, and Jack Whitney missing.
Yes, Jack Whitney omitted from the starting 5. Elliot Rigomo is also notable by his absence. At least that's the way things start.
Yes, Jeffrey Boulay, number 8, not normally a starter. Sammy Osafello, number 10. He started while Whitney was absent during the World Cup. But yeah, just a change of approach from Kuru, but good to see confidence throughout the squad that anyone can start. Previous years was pretty fixed who would start. The starting 4 was, and of course Anthony Talo in goal.
So New Caledonia and their all red kit get us underway at Trust Arena. Leah Lafa. First shot on goal, and it just scratches wide. It's taken a deflection. There's some confusion going on down there. It's the New Caledonians. They haven't contested it too fiercely, to be honest. And the danger's been quelled in any instance. Ronan Usen, who had an outstanding first match day for his country. Osafello cuts on to that right foot. That's a good run made by Leah Lafa, but this is New Caledonia on the breakthrough. Porooro, and he's just overhit it. So Huliwa couldn't keep up with the pace of that ball.
A good counter-attack and a confidence booster for the New Caledonians.
There's no shortage of team spirit in Lake Kagu. They've shown us that already with a spirited performance against Malaysia. They're going to need more of that in this game. Leah Lafa, Osafello, Leah Lafa again. Boulay earns the set play for the Solomon Islands. The Solomons looking to work that player at the far post. It was Osafello. Corners. Luke Corners. So Huliwa. Waima can't lock the ball in there. It's back with Kuru. Sammy Osafello. Leah Lafa, some lovely work on the ball there from him. Well, he showed his technical accomplishment, Mika Leah Lafa. Saw the best of him there. Just couldn't keep the ball in, unfortunately for his team.
Looking at some of the statistics earlier, Gordon, Leah Lafa, something like 15 shots last night. Couldn't go in for him though. He hit the frame early on. It would have made a big difference, I think.
Osafello. There's another shot that is not on target. Poor Airoa. Pororairo for New Caledonia. Back with Usen. Chipped forward, taken by James Ageta. Nice Nice piece of skill by him. Lea Laffa looking to drift onto the right foot. And that's an example of the battling qualities of New Caledonia that we've come to admire. David Ford.
Yeah, good defending from Ford. No way through at the moment for Solomons.
Geta, switch of play to Lea Laffa, sizes up his shot, takes on the New Caledonians. Now a chance, Wasserfellow. Oh, it's Lea Laffa, that's a good piece of defending. Anywhere will do for the clearance. Boulay in combination with his teammate, but it's broken down. New Caledonia on the counter-attack. Well, they tried to make use of Landry at the far post.
Yeah, good counter-attack. He had an option either side of him.
Landry Parawi, who was on target yesterday against Malaysia. A series of interchanges taking place for the Solomons.
Basili going in up into the pivot role. Ragomo making an appearance at last.
Now Lea Laffa just can't keep it in as he runs out of court space.
Coleman Nakau also into the game for Solomons.
Oh, good shot. There's been an infringement though. Game restarted quickly. Ragomo. Macau gives it away. Lea Laffa's failed. Well, there's going to be a card here. Or at least a talking to. It is a card. It's a yellow card. Coleman Macau will take the kick. Finds Lea Laffa. Now Ragomo. Macau. Well played by Macau. Lea Laffa. Macau plays Lea Laffa and makes a run forward. It's Ragomo. There's an injury. Another Solomons Kurukuru player hits the boards. And the Solomon Kurukuru can ill afford to lose Mika Lea Laffa. He might have twisted his knee there. That looked very uncomfortable.
But New Caledonia probably encouraged by this start, Gordon. 4 minutes into the game. And as with yesterday, just not letting Solomon Islands find their rhythm. Malaysia got their rhythm at times and played some wonderful futsal, but yeah, it was a plucky performance and a good start here.
George Stevenson has joined the fray. As Lea Laffa gets some medical attention on the sidelines. Ragomo is standing over the ball. Takes a shot, it's straight against the two-man wall of New Caledonia. Well, the appetite that Le Kagu are showing for the task in front of them is voracious. And look at that. They're happy to press the ball in close quarters, but not get caught too far up court.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's yielding rewards.
No, they've thought about this, and it's a good start.
Corner's first touch not good enough on that occasion, and the Solomons have the ball back with George Stevenson. Macau's ball finds Thierry Waima. That's a nice twist of the hips by Porooro. Gets another go at it and a chance for Waima. Well, he's miscued. Ragomo's won it, and Waima is forced to toe poke the ball out. Ball that would certainly throw an interesting situation up if New Caledonia would score the first goal here today.
Yeah, and you wouldn't rule it out on just on what we're seeing here. Very interesting.
Rigomo. Talo. Resorting to Route 1 stuff. George Stevenson was tightly marked by Luke Cornish. And that's a good ball. Over the top, the goalkeeper, there's contact. Well, contrasting views from the referees.
Just outside.
Well, there's the touch from Ivan Poroworo, and then Anthony Talo got the second touch, and down goes the New Caledonian skipper. There's a yellow card for the keeper.
Terrific ball, wasn't it, Gordon?
Oh, it was an absolutely wonderful pass. The vision and the execution were top-notch. And Ivan Poroworo, just with the most delicate of touches over the top of the goalkeeper. What can Leikagu produce? Oh, and it's taken a touch off two players before it ends up in the grateful arms of Anthony Talo. Oof. One of the spectators has won the clearance. Vasili. There is the shot, and look, it took a deflection off Saihuliwa. We've had just over 5 minutes, and so far Ronan Yusin, the New Caledonian keepers, had very little to do. Talo, that's given straight to Luke Cornish. Solomon's just struggling again to find that rhythm they're so well known for. And Leikagu's growing reputation as a team of disruptors enhanced. Yusin to Cornish. Vasili doing some pressing high up the court of his own and had a half chance. Eric Saihuliwa provided the defence. Oh, and that nearly did the goalkeeper at his near post. He took one step to his right, and I think the ball actually went between himself and his left hand.
Yep.
Rigomo. Coleman Macau's caught out by Thierry Weimar. Can he score? No, he can't, but there's help arriving. Ivan Poroworo, he's past George. Well, that's a good save by Anthony Talo. Poroworo left George Stevenson flat-footed. There is the chance from Weimar. The ball broke into mid-court and was picked up by Poroworo. So far, the impetus appears to be with Leikagu.
Yeah, it seems as though Solomon's confidence just eroding away a little bit. Obviously, last night was a difficult one for them, and they probably need an early goal or a little bit of luck. But you've got to take your hat off to New Caledonia. Terrific opening stanza from them.
Good save by the goalie. He's worth his weight in gold.
He sure is. Just carrying on from yesterday.
And he's done it again. Well, Ronan Yusin. The Leikagu shot stopper at his best. Took that one full in the chest.
It's a great ball and a great take. Here's the counter now. He's trouble. Can they get organised?
Oh, it was a poor ball by Leo Lafa. It's given straight back to Leikagu, but perhaps they can turn it around through Boulay. Leo Lafa away by Yusin.
You sense the first goal's not far away, whichever end it is, Gordon.
No, this game has fragmented. And just the final pass. And that could become a source of frustration for Solomon Islands.
James Igata is in, number 7, and he'll make a difference, I think. Just settle things down. Very experienced in that position at the back. He's popping up on this right-hand side now.
Igata against Porairoa. Andre Hama's ball was an ambitious one. He's managed to get a touch here. Parawi, he's past 2. There's a shot, it was a good one as well.
Great stop from Talo. Good his distribution too, Gordon. One of the best throwers of the ball in the game, I think.
James Egata. Osafello. So Jeffrey Boulay's taken a heavy one, but this was a chance from Parawi. It was a good strike. At a handy height for the goalkeeper though. Had plenty of power on it. I'm just wondering all this fragmented play now. Oh, and here's a chance. Osafello. The Solomons have scored. And some of the pressure is alleviated, at least for now.
Yeah, the court's opened up. It's end-to-end stuff and some big gaps appearing. And if you give Sammy Osafello any kind of room on that left peg, as we saw last night with that terrific finish against New Zealand, no problem there. He tucks it away. But New Caledonia still in this here. Just need to regroup, keep doing what they're doing, the disruptors as you called them. And it's a good tactic and largely working at this stage.
Sahuliwa. Eric Sahuliwa still going. Waima is going to need more than Sahuliwa for help. Cornice, oh, that's not a bad shot. Sahuliwa almost got in the way of it, and that can't have been easy for Anthony Talo to contend with. Leo Lafa, it's a good header for Jeffrey Boulay.
Yeah, good work from Boulay too.
Goal scorer Osafello. Igeta. Boulay. Just an opportunity for the Solomons to regain some composure and maybe set the pace of this match. They've been responding to it now. Leo Lafa.
Much better now from Solomons. Doesn't take much for them to get their confidence back. But we just see that shift in rhythm now, and we'll see if they get a bit of momentum here.
Talo responds with some sweeping up of his own. Good tempo to this one so far. Terry Waima. And Waima, who's
3 on 2.
Outstanding yesterday, is just struggling a little bit to find his technique.
Well done, Coleman. Macau gets back, and
when it's hit the side netting.
Yeah, I think Tallow might have, his head might have struck the post, did it?
Well, we'll take another look at Luke Cornice. There's the shot. The goalkeeper dives, and difficult to tell. Oh, well, yes, the response says everything there. Cornice shot. Talo saves. Vincent Basili. Coleman Macau. James Igeta. Macau takes on Waima. Oh, and it's over the top from Coleman Macau. Sacrificed accuracy for power.
He had Linson at the back post as well. He gave him a little look there.
Here's Coleman Macau taking on Waima. Oh, it wasn't far away.
Yeah, Basili wanted that at the back post.
Halfway through an intriguing first half. Solomon Islands 1, New Caledonia 0. Semi-final hopes on the line for both these sides, beaten yesterday on match day 1. James Ageta. That's a good ball. Lenson Basili can finish this. He's going to have to reach for Coleman Macau, and the chance is gone.
Yeah, first touch not quite there for Lenson Basili, but a lovely ball out from the back. Solomon's just looking a bit better organised now. They're not putting pressure, they're just waiting on halfway for New Caledonia. And just starting to get a bit of a stronghold in this first half.
Basili. Look at that, 2 New Caledonian players converging on James Ageta. Yes, Pororairoa, the player who put that pass in, is now with Solomon's Kurukuru. James Ageta, Coleman Macau, Elliot Rigomo taking on Pororairoa. Oh, and it wasn't a bad ball in. Basili arrived a yard too early.
It's a nice turn. That's the Rigomo we're used to in Oceania.
Harawi's shot deflected off Ageta. Macau. Rigomo, a piece of magic perhaps. It's all hands to the pump for New Caledonia at the moment. They're just hanging in there. If they can get a goal of their own, we'll lift the roof off here. Rigomo, toe poked, good save by the keeper. Rigomo takes a thump from Pororairoa. Ageta. To Ageta. And overhits the pass. Look at that. Rigomo just improvised with a sliding toe poke, and the goalkeeper Ronan Yusin again proving his worth. As the first time out is called, and Paul, how do you see this one so far?
Just having a look at Ageta here. Too much room for Sammy Osafello. And we've seen that a lot of times. Futsal fans in the Oceania region, too much room for that mighty left foot of his. I'm really encouraged by New Caledonia yesterday and again today. I think it's a sign that the level is evening up. Teams can foot it with Solomons, whereas before they were way out ahead of everyone else. Obviously New Zealand last night, but just thinking back even yesterday, Gordon, Vanuatu against Tahiti, just seeing that level even out, and I think it's got to be good for the game.
This was a very, very touch and go moment for the Solomon Islands. There's a yellow card for Anthony Talo. Then look at that, it struck Eric Saihuliwa high up in the chest. He barely had time to react, and Anthony Talo was all over the resulting loose ball. Ageta. Rigomo. Macau. Ageta. Waimar pressing, but Ageta's gone beyond him. Coleman Macau. Rigomo. Captain against captain, and it was a stalemate. Macau for Ageta. Oh, nice touch by Lenson Basili, but just couldn't spin quickly enough to get the return. Here he is again. Macau, he's past Waimar. Oh, and that's a lovely goal for Coleman Macau.
Yeah, and a lovely bit of work by Ageta as well, just to take a good first touch turn and pick out Macau, but terrific finish from the number 11.
Wonderful piece of finishing. It takes quite a bit of quality to beat Ronan Usen, and Coleman Macau has steadied Solomon Island nerves with a valuable second goal.
And first goal for a couple of years for Macau at international level. We'll be pleased with that one. New Caledonia is still in it though.
Well, they're accomplished at breaking down. Well, here's an infringement that could throw New Caledonia a lifeline. Cornice, we know, can hit the ball with plenty of power. Talo's got his teammates in. Well, he's joined what is now a 5-man Solomon Islands wall. Waimar and Poraworo. Oh, and nearly crept past Talo. Cornice has got concrete in that right boot of his. Stevenson hauled up, and there's a look at that free kick, and look at that, could have easily ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, could have gone anywhere. Bit of a let off for Solomons.
Cornice, Waimar, just running out of angles, and now it's turned into a 3-on-2. Oh, and it hits the outside of the post. Samuel Cefello, the aggrieved party.
George Stevenson just suggesting to him he could have rolled it into his feet.
Oh, he could well have done that. He had two options.
Yeah, Lea Lafa's probably got a grievance case as well.
Eric Sohuliwa. Well, for New Caledonia, it just looks as though the final pass is what's undoing them. They take a rather heavy touch, but Ivan Poraworo, a chance for Waimar. Yes, and he scores.
What a great finish too.
An accomplished finish by Thierry Waimar.
Wide open game, Gordon, and end-to-end stuff, and great first touch, and just flicked it into the top of the net.
They just simply don't know when to give up, New Caledonia. What a finish. The first touch was sublime, the second effective, and the Solomons are rocked. It's 2-1. Lea Lafa. Still Lea Lafa. New Caledonia back in numbers. Look at that defensive quartet. Cefello. Well, that's a good touch. George Stevenson complaining that perhaps he was fouled. Jeffrey Boulet's asking the question as well. Well, Coach Dixon Caddow could be in a spot of bother here. He's drawn the ire of the referee. He's not happy, the Solomon Islands coach. His team's in a right old game at the moment. Jess Pororairoa. Well, that's not a bad touch. Unfortunately, Andre Hama wasn't a yard closer for Leikagu. Lea Lafa. Stevenson. Back to Lea Lafa. Still going. David Ford providing defensive cover for New Caledonia. Stevenson. Boulet. Osafello. Stevenson. James Igeta. Taking on Jess Puru Rairoa. Jeffrey Boulay. Andre Harmer getting a foot in for New Caledonia. Oh, lovely skill from Leo Lafa. And he's taken out. No doubt about the infringement. He's a wonderful player to watch when he's in this frame of mind. Look at this. Takes Luke Cornice left, then right, and eventually taken out. So, Pororairoa and Cornice in a two-man wall in front of Ronan Yuzen. Andre Harmon has taken up a position on the right post as the goalkeeper faces a free kick. And Stevenson's on the ball. He's got Boulay to his left. Leo Lafa takes a shot. Now Igeta goes for full-blooded power. And the punch from Yuzen doesn't connect. Leo Lafa through the legs. His opponent, it's taking a deflection, it's not useful enough, and a chance for Boulay to make it 3-1. Two-goal cushion restored for the Solomon Islands. Disappointment for Yuzen. There is a good piece of play from Stevenson, and the finish was deadly.
Yeah, he picked his spot. He doesn't get many, Boulay, but 3-1 now, and New Caledonia just in a bit of trouble here.
Leo Lafa picks off Cornice loose pass. Oh, excellent save. Wonderful move by the Solomons. The save was sublime as well.
Gomo checks in again for Solomon.
Weimar, the goal scorer for New Caledonia. Cornice. Weimar taking on Rigomo. Huliwa, well, just the second touch was too heavy. Just slide this in for Lenson Basili. He goes for power and sends it high up into the bleachers.
Once again, Leo Lafa at his best, taking players on, cutting in. Very dangerous. He's just got to do it in the right areas. He got found out last night with Dylan Manikam's second goal. Tried to dribble out from his own byline, got caught. But in full flight, he's one of the most exciting players in the world. There's no doubt about that, seeing him at the World Cup last year.
Weimar, oh, taken down. Igeta takes a yellow card. Well, he jumped in with 2 feet, and it was just rogue arm that grabbed a hold of Thierry Weimar, who I think as soon as he felt that touch decided that going to the court floor was perhaps the
best option
for him to gain an advantage for New Caledonia. So Ivan Pororo to take this. Oh, it's a set move. It wasn't cleanly executed, but the principles were sound. Rigomo through the legs of Eric Sahuliwa, intended for Lenson Basili, but no dice for Rigomo this time. Leo Lafa. He's really starting to turn it on, Mika Leo Lafa. James Igeta. Leo Lafa. All through the legs again. Well, we've started to see that party piece dragged out of the repertoire from a lot of these players in this particular match. There's another example. It's Eric Sahuliwa who does it. Well read by Anthony Talo. Leo Lafa. Rigomo. Basili. Igeta. Nice play from Rigomo. Well, he could have shot. Well, he's overcooked the meal. It was an interesting entree, but it just lacked the finish.
Yeah, I thought he was lining up the right-footed shot, but just one more rollover. But some exciting stuff from both sides at the moment. Good first half. Only a small crowd here, but well worth the entry fee coming down to see the rest of the afternoon as they switch the whole quartet, New Caledonia.
Yes, just a reminder for you, we do have 3 more matches to come as we have a look at Rigomo. He absolutely turned his market inside out. It was Eric Saihuliwa who was the victim. Solomon Islands 3, New Caledonia 1. Rigomo starting to look more like his old self. David Ford, James Aguitar, Lenson Basili might fancy this, tried to place it, and the goalkeeper and Malik Pole combined to keep this New Caledonia defence intact.
Just hanging on by their fingertips, New Caledonia. They'll want to get to half-time without any more goals. 2 minutes to go. Some of that confidence coming back for Solomon Islands now.
Good save by the goalkeeper there. Nice touch by Jess Pororairo. One back by Rigomo. Spots Basili. That's a good piece of play off the line by Pole and New Caledonia.
Nice teamwork from Solomons, but fantastic defending from New Caledonia.
I know I've laboured the point with you, Paul, about just how committed and spirited this New Caledonia outfit is, but just can't help but admire the way they've gone about the task in front of them.
Yeah, and it's a good tactic by William Brett. He's switching the team in quartets, so they're on for a shift of 4 or 5 minutes.
Rigomo at last, the old stager.
Yeah, and while New Caledonia might be 4-1 down, that tactic, I think, you know, it builds that team mentality. You're on together for 4 minutes, you work hard, and you earn that break, you come off again.
Well, Jess Pororairo was the unfortunate player. He just tried to cut out a ball intended for Coleman Macau, but played it straight into the path of Rigomo, and the rest was academic for the Solomon Islands skipper. He doesn't miss those. Corners, long ball. Fellow did well. Oh, and a chance still. That's a great finish by the New Caledonia skipper, Ivan Pororairo, with an acrobatic finish.
Some great skills on display once again, Gordon. Been a thrilling first half, really. You didn't know much about it at first.
Look at that. That's extraordinary. Landry Parawi did the hard work, and Ivan Pororairo just latched onto it with an acrobatic finish. Here's Stevenson, good save by Uzen.
Well, he described it as a group of death yesterday, Gordon, and you know, just looking at all the goals flying in, it could well come down to goal difference. Obviously, whoever loses today is out, but the other side will have one eye on that goals for and against, especially Malaysia and New Zealand playing tonight. That'll be tight, and it could come down to goals tomorrow.
Inside the final 35 seconds of the first half, it's been an intriguing match to bring to you here on OFC TV via our YouTube platform. Of course, the remaining 3 matches on match day 2 are also going to be available on Summit Sports. reminder of those fixtures following the conclusion of this game. Tahiti against New Zealand Invitational side, Australia against Vanuatu, and Malaysia up against New Zealand. Those kick-off times, 4 p.m. local, New Zealand time, 6 p.m. and 8 p.m.
Great turn.
Stevenson, good block by Cornice, timely foot to block the shot.
Yeah, more impressive defending from Cornice.
It's gone to the far post, Osafello. Just every now and then I get the impression that Solomon Islands take one extra touch when a shot on goal might be.
I think so, and on that occasion Osafello, who doesn't have much of a right foot, just uncomfortable shooting with that right foot, and yeah, overcooking it again. But an interesting first half. I think both sides just willing to press that high up the court, creating space in behind themselves, and means the game opens up.
So half time at Trust Arena. Solomon Islands 4, New Caledonia 2. As we take a look at the highlights of an intriguing first half. This was a yellow card for Anthony Talo. Ivan Porooro had evaded the keeper's challenge, but not the second one. Nothing coming from that free kick. Eric Sohuliwa. And then Thierry Waimar had this opportunity. Good save by the keeper again. Spread himself and locked in on that ball. And Sammy Osafello.
Look at the space for Osafello there.
Defender just static and not coming out to the ball.
Yeah, and once again, you know, that high line when you're pressing, leaving a gap in behind.
There's a shot from Coleman Macau, flying high over the bar. And then this finish from Macau.
Great turn from Coleman Macau and a good finish.
Well, Yuzen felt frustrated by that. I think he felt he had that near post covered. Luke Cornice shot from the free kick. It went through the legs of Talo, but Talo kept his wits about him. And Osafello then struck the upright. This was a fantastic goal. Thierry Waimar celebrates that first touch. Just caught Talo off guard.
Yeah, the confidence of that first touch. Just dinks it over him. Great finish.
Takes the congratulations of Luke Cornice. Well, this came as something of an easy one for Jeffrey Boulay from a George Stevenson pass. Stevenson did ever so well to get the ball out of his feet, and
a despairing dive.
A despairing dive. Solomon Islands had an opportunity to extend the lead. This one was teed up on a plate, not intentionally, by Jess Pororairo. Straight into the path of Rigomo, whose first touch with the right foot was followed through with the left. And the scoring wasn't over. New Caledonia pulled one back. Look at this. Fantastic piece of skill. Cornice with a long ball. Osafello couldn't deal with it. Parawi teed it up for a skipper, and Ivan Porooro with the scissors kick on a wooden floor, no less. Shows his commitment to the cause. He might have got a lot of shin on that, but that might be uncharitable to have a go at him for not connecting cleanly. So half-time, Solomon Islands 4, New Caledonia 2. Rejoin us in 6 or 7 minutes' time for the second half. Well, welcome back to Trust Arena in Henderson, Auckland, New Zealand. It's half time in the match between Solomon Islands and New Caledonia, and the Solomons lead by 4 goals to 2. And we can reflect on an interesting first half. Solomons open the scoring, courtesy of Sammy Osafello. Jess Pororairo, the defender there in your picture, perhaps blocking the vision of his goalkeeper, and you can see there from Ronan Uzen's body language, he points to his eyes. Look, I can't see that if you stay static. Solomons went close again, and it was Coleman Mako who doubled their advantage. He just beat Uzen at the near post. Frustration for the New Caledonian goalkeeper. Have a look here as the ball hits the back of the net, and Solomon's looking comfortable. That changed. Terry Waimar produced this wonderful finish. Cheeky first touch, and then clipped the ball home at the second asking. There's the touch. Credit to Anthony Talo. He did manage to stay focused. He expected something of a hammer blow from Waimar, but what he got was New Caledonian finesse. Solomon Islands responded quickly. This ball given away by Pororairo. Then a good touch from George Stevenson. Boulay was unmarked on the left, and he swept the ball past Uzen with that right foot. The goalkeeper, no chance of stopping that one. It was time for the Solomon Islands to restore their 2-goal cushion, and it was the easiest of finishes for Elliot Rigomo. There's the ball. It was intercepted by Jess Pororairo, but it went straight to the Solomon Islands skipper. One touch with the right foot, the second with the left. He outthought the keeper and takes his bow with a wonderful goal. But New Caledonia were soon back in it. Parawi flicks it up, and then look at the acrobatic scissors kick from Ivan Porooro. There's the chip over the shoulder, and there is the scissors kick. Osafello struggled. He was never going to beat Parawi in the air. And Ivan Porooro risking all for New Caledonia. The score is 4-2. Small contingent of Solomon Islands supporters with us here to follow the fortunes of Kurukuru. And the two teams are making their way back onto the court. And off in the distance, the arrival of the Tahitian team as they prepare for their game with the New Zealand Invitational side here at the same venue in, well, not too long from now. They kick off at 4 p.m. Elliot Rigomo deep in conversation with the coach, Dixon Cadow. There's some pensive looking Solomon Islands faces on that bench. New Caledonia far from out of this game, Paul.
Yes, 4-2. It's still pretty close. It's been a wild sort of a game in some ways. Both sides going from end to end, attack, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it starts in the second half. I'm just picking the tempo. Might be a bit slower to start with, but if New Caledonia can score soon after the restart, it's all on. Big expectations on the Solomon side. They didn't deliver last night, and you know, they can ill afford to have another slip up here.
Quite right. They experienced a nasty shock last night, losing to New Zealand for the first time in their history, 7-3. There's a real sense of a futsal power shift across Oceania last night as that result echoed throughout Trust Arena. The futsal whites, as they're known, showing great progress under coach Scott Gilligan, who's probably, I think I can say without fear of contradiction. He's probably been one of the biggest reasons that futsal in Oceania has improved across the board.
He's had a big influence, as we were talking about yesterday, Gordon, in Tahiti, Solomons. He was with the side in 2008 when they went to the World Cup in Brazil, and as the futsal development officer for Oceania from around that time, 2008.
And there is Scott Gilligan with the glasses in the middle of your picture, sitting next to Mikey Malivuk, one of the key players from yesterday's win for the Futsal Whites.
Yeah, and Gilligan now stamping his mark on the Futsal Whites, and caught up with Dave Payne last night, who's the head of futsal for New Zealand, and he's absolutely delighted with the influence of Scott Gilligan. It was a tough baptism really for the Australian, 9 games without a victory, and last night breaking his duck with in many ways the biggest scalp of all.
Well, it just goes to show what a level of patience, organisational patience, for a coach who has gone on a losing streak of some considerable length of time, but it was all heading towards one particular performance, and it peaked last night. And we're just waiting for the court to be wiped. The referees have noticed some moisture on court, and they're just making sure that the surface is safe for the goalkeepers and the players. And we shouldn't be too far away from a restart. Gomo and Stevenson will get us underway. We're up and running again at Truss Arena. Stevenson, his physicality actually threw some interesting options open in the first half. He's a very strong player.
He's worth his weight in gold, George Stevenson. They used him extensively last year in that pivot role up the top of the court, especially after Lenson Basili didn't make the World Cup team, and yeah, very strong player.
Ivan Pororo, the New Caledonian skipper, scorer of the second goal for Lake Agu today. Mid corners, well, that's a tight ball to give Eric Sohuliwa.
Macau just putting pressure on there. Just that first touch of the New Caledonians, it needs to be good.
Sohuliwa back with Pororo. Spots the run forward, and that's more of a football pass than a futsal one.
Yeah, it's a good description, Gordon.
Running into a channel, but on a court, not a football field. Ragomo making a run to the left for Geta. There's a hole for Macau to run into. Ragomo, first touch not bad, second good enough. Stevenson, chance, Macau, the goalkeeper's come out, the chip, and it's just over the crossbar.
Kuru look a different side to me with whenever Egeta is on the field, Gordon. Just organises at the back, much like some of the other good fixers that we've seen in this tournament. Sito, Marvin Eakins, you could say. And, yeah, and Abdel Kadir yesterday for Malaysia.
Yes, wasn't he an outstanding player yesterday as Ragomo shoots?
Keeper, he's a terrific keeper, isn't he?
Absolutely. Here's another look at Macau's attempt. Stevenson, you can see there in his picture, was off to his right. Here's Ragomo. Oh, and off target. Has to test the goalkeeper with opportunities like that. And he blazed it wide. Ragomo.
Might get some fireworks now. Lealafa back into the mix. Yeah, so a slightly cagier opening to the second half.
Rigomo. Stevenson. Leo Laffa, Stevenson. That's stoic defending from New Caledonia.
It is. It takes a bit to push George Stevenson off the ball.
Yes, it straddled the lines of legal, but it was effective enough. That was a man on Kaui. Leo Laffa. Well, just looking across the team sheet, Jack Whitney is a notable omission. There's no official reason given on the team sheet as to why he's absent. Oh, and a chance for Leo Laffa. And he doesn't miss those. 5-2 for the Solomon Islands.
Perhaps the suspension from the red card, Gordon. Oh yeah, I actually saw Whitney this morning, had a little chat, and yeah, he was bemused about the whole thing. He's adamant he didn't dive, but these things can happen. We had a look at that one on the replay, didn't we? And it looked like, yeah, it was a bit unfortunate to pick up that first yellow, but anyway, it was a pretty emphatic win.
Off the line by Paulet.
Anyway, for New Zealand, yeah, another good counter-attack from Solomons. Things starting to heat up again. You can feel the tempo, the rhythm changing. Great strike again, that left foot of Sammy Osafello.
Yes, you just wonder if this one is going to slip away from New Caledonia. Kaui for Paulet. Waimar. Oh, still going. Lines it up and, well, needed a bit more finesse in that position than he was able to apply. Andre Hammer.
You can feel that tempo shift when Leo Laffa's on court. He, dynamic player, running at the opposition, creating so much, and it cuts both ways sometimes because he can lose it and there's a counter-attack, but he's one of the more exciting players in the region. Great to see him on the futsal court in New Zealand for the first time. Perhaps he's been over for Champions League and O-League, Gordon?
Yes, that's correct. He is one of these multi-talented, multi-capped football players, futsal players. Jeffrey Boulay is another. Whitney, of course, has also played in the Champions League.
Boulay and Leo Laffa would have been in the Olympic side, weren't they, down in Taupo last year?
That's correct. And again, it's extraordinary in Oceania, the number of athletes who can boast not only international caps and appearances for a multitude of football and futsal sides or beach soccer, but also across different sports.
Yeah, perhaps the most notable one of all, Paul Huia, Solomon Islands, who's played for the beach soccer team, the football team and the futsal team at FIFA World Cups.
Yes.
Has hung up the futsal shoes. And I don't mind adding my futsal shoes. I gave him my shoes at the World Cup last year and forgot to ask for them back. So Paul, if you're listening, I'll flick you my address. You can send them back.
Well, there you go. It's a family affair in Oceania futsal. Pororo. Nice touch. Runs into Sammy Osafello. Leo Laffa. Oh, he's been caught out here. Ivan Pororo. Well, he's taken down and it's been spotted. Leo Laffa turns his back on the official.
You just got to take the rough with the smooth with Leo Laffa. You get the magic, but then you get those moments where he's perhaps dribbling in the wrong areas, but you got to love him all the same.
Yes, you have to live with genius. Genius doesn't have to live with you necessarily.
Yeah, it's well put.
And this is the flip side of the coin for Solomon Islands. They're going to have to defend this, and judging by the run-up from Ivan Poroworo, he may well hit this, or is he going to play it short? He does. Oh, and it's just trundled wide. Landry Parawi. You know, they've had these set plays and set pieces correct in principle. They've just been too eager to execute them.
Yeah, he scuffed it a bit, didn't he? Yeah.
Wanting to lash the ball home with power, and what they needed was perhaps a bit more of oh, it's in! Beaten at the near post!
Haven't seen one of those for a while. Good to see the replay there, but 5-3, so it's game still on.
Eric Saihuliwa. Oh, he's done ever so well. It might have even come off the sole of Anthony Talo's boot.
I think it did.
Osafello. Well, he rather forced that one, but Boulay's got it.
Just once again that lack of a right foot for Sammy. Working it back onto the left again and forcing it, as you say.
Plenty of time for New Caledonia if they were to grab another. Oh, Lenson Basili can't apply the finish. So intriguing stuff. Solomon Islands 5, New Caledonia 3. Jess Pororairo's free kick has resulted in a corner. It's been taken by Thierry Waimar. Anthony Talo. Oh, he couldn't hold on to it. It's broken clear to Paule. Anthony Talo didn't really know too much about that. He's got a grip of his near post. He's not going to be caught out there again. And Jess Pororairo's shot is wild and wide.
Yes, a few worrying moments for Kurukuru, and New Caledonia's stocks continue to grow at this tournament. Hugely impressive effort yesterday and today.
Basili, good save by the goalkeeper, as we've come to expect. He's set some pretty high standards for himself, Ronan Museum, but he can't stop that one.
Looks like it might have been a deflection of Pororoa.
Well, we can have another look at that. It was Osafello's shot, and it's Pororairoa who's put it into the back of his own net. Solomon Islands 6, New Caledonia 3. Leikagu have just been unable to break that 2-goal advantage that Solomons have been able to continually sit on.
And Atana Whararodo on for the first time in this tournament, number 6.
Yes, indeed. An introduction to... Oof, not far away.
Yeah, great leap from Paraguay there. Sorry, it was
Kauui, I think.
Kauui, yes.
Wonderful raw material that New Caledonia have to work with in futsal. There's definitely a building block for the future in place. The gap between these competing sides just 5 years ago was significant, and you can use that as your yardstick to measure just how much closer these teams have got over the years. We'll throw Australia and Malaysia into the mix from the AFC, and that futsal learning curve just starts to bend further. Well, trying to dribble their way through a sea of yellow shirts. Here's another look at goal and Pororoiro. It's just human instinct, isn't it? To put a leg out. And unfortunately for him, it flashed past Ronan Newsen.
I think New Caledonia are going to be a real handful for New Zealand tomorrow. Looking forward to that one.
Yes, it certainly will be a fascinating game, particularly off the back of what happens tonight against Malaysia.
Yes, because that'll tie them. There'll be 5 games in 6 days by the end of tonight, and then another one to follow. And you know, that heavy schedule may take its toll in the end on the New Zealanders.
Yes, you think particularly heading into the playoffs, as we have a look at this foul, and Landry was the guilty party. Rigomo forced his shot.
And last time, of course, New Zealand and New Caledonia met. New Caledonia won that one in 2010 at the OFC Futsal Championship in Suva.
Well, as things stand at the moment, the Solomon Islands, who were beaten 7-3 last night, would have 3 points, but their goal difference would have them -1 in deficit.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great little step
over.
Oh,
what a goal! Ivan Pororo with a piece of magic.
Just gets better from New Caledonia. Beautiful step over, working it onto the right foot.
Look at this. Goes past James Ageta like he's not even there, and the finish was brilliant.
He still had Tallow to contend with. He'd narrowed the angle nicely, and he just whipped it.
Wonderful stuff from Leikagu and their skipper, Ivan Pororo, to go with that scissors kick goal in the first half, and then a barnstorming goal in the second. It's 6-4.
Still plenty of time left too, Gordon.
Well, look, the more goals that New Caledonia can get, probably the better for the New Zealand cause. They can pull back another one, then perhaps even the results in some doubt.
Skipper's brimming with confidence now with a nutmeg.
.11 and 36 seconds of the second half to go. Solomon Islands 6, New Caledonia 4. That's given away to Luke Cornish, and he's had a rush of blood to the head. Fired a shot well over the top. Rigomo, wonderful pass. Oh, and they maybe needed a shot. Ageta, good save by the keeper. Hacked clear by Parawi. Well, there was not much to aim at, and Ronan Newsen, that was probably quite handy for him in terms of being able to get to that.
Yeah, I thought perhaps Leo Lafa would have pulled the trigger there, but he rolled it back to Ageta, who doesn't get many.
No, and I wonder just if this hesitancy in front of goal is going to cost the Solomons here in this game.
Nice by Stevenson.
Oh, and this is Solomons at their best. It just lacked the cherry on the cake. Look at Leo Lafa. Wonderful run by him, and Stevenson perhaps it wasn't either a cross nor a shot really. And in the end, the chance goes. Look at this, taking on James Ageta and then firing it into the roof of the net. It takes the congratulations of Luke Cornice.
Yeah, well deserved, and another 10-goal thriller here, and you wouldn't rule out 4 or 5 more.
You can certainly write New Caledonia off at your peril. Rigoma getting a stern talking to by the match official. Oh, and that's given straight away to Parawi. Malik Pale. Thierry Weimar. Kauri for New Caledonia. Weimar. Lea Lafa. Chance for Macau.
And a great ball by Stevenson there, just a little flick to the on-rushing Macau. Once again, the keeper to the rescue there for New Caledonia. Usain, he's been really one of the stars of this OFC Futsal Invitational over the last couple of days. Absolutely magnificent saves. He must be hurting. Ball's been pummeled into him so many times, and just coming off now for perhaps a bit of treatment. Just a bit of magic spray.
Yeah, they can't afford to lose Ronan Usain at this juncture. The other New Caledonia goalkeeper is Ronald Gayon. What can you tell us about
I'm just thinking
of an unknown?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he may have been in the previous, the 2011. I would need to check on that, Gordon. But with a guy like that at number 1, you're not going to get much work, are you?
No, he's set some pretty high standards. It could be an interesting exercise for us here as commentators to maybe come up with, and a chance, a very good chance goes begging to come up with their own OFC Futsal Invitational side.
Yeah, I think that's a vital task we must perform before the end of this tournament.
Yes, why not?
I know who I've got between the sticks at the moment.
Yes, I don't think there's going to be too many arguments from me on that. However, the debate around the rest of the 5 would perhaps keep us here all night. I know that Angelo Constantino would be another candidate.
Yeah, I'm just mulling over whether we allow the Australians and the Malaysians into the mix here. We'll have to think about that one, perhaps debate that one.
Yes, yes indeed.
Some early front runners would be Tino of Tahiti, the talismanic number 12.
Yes.
Dylan Manikim, of course.
Dylan Manikin turned in a wonderful performance. I know that Scott Gilligan is a confirmed admirer. As we have a look at this shot away by Malik Pale. In fact, he said to me yesterday after the Solomons match that if only he had a second player in Dylan's mould.
Yeah, and it's really what New Zealand's lack, somebody who can score. I think they'd perhaps had only 4 or 5 goals in their last 9 games, and then Manikin goes out and gets 5 himself in the biggest game of his life.
Meanwhile, Solomon Islands lead New Caledonia 6-4. Lea Lafa. Macau. Lea Lafa. Jeffrey Boulay. Coleman Macau taking on Kaui.
Great defending.
Yes, he's a real live wire. Kaui, Manon Kaui. He's perhaps not the technically most proficient, but he probably sums up and personifies the spirit of the New Caledonian side. He's really into everything when he's defending. Porooro's ball forward for Parawui. Talo opts to volley it clear with the right foot. Porooro, and too hard for Eric Sahuliwa. Macau, Egeta. Egeta. Lea Lafa. Vasili strong on the ball, holding off Eric Sahuliwa. Interesting build up here. That's a good ball from Lea Lafa. Good goalkeeping, well anticipated by Ronan Usen. And that didn't give Coleman Macau too much of a chance to retrieve. He's got it now though. Taking on Ivan Porooro.
Good defending.
That's excellent defending from the skipper, Parawui. Well, he grabbed a handful of Egeta's shirt. No lingering ill will between the two players. What's the fellow? Spots a gap. Eric Sahuliwa.
Looking at second referee Francis Cucurillo on the other side, he's really putting in some big runs. It's end-to-end stuff, and actually his parents have come up, 17 years old, Francis, and his parents have come up from Wellington to see him in his first international, and he's going to be tired tonight. These two teams counter-attacking.
Here's another look at Ivan Porooro and this wonderful goal. Wonderful goal.
Yeah,
just a step over, wasn't it?
It was. He shaped to play the ball inside, and he foxed them all. But he still had so much to do. Talo had made himself big in the goal. There wasn't much of an angle. He just hammered it into the back of the net.
So a timeout called with 6 minutes and 32 seconds left on the clock. And some intensive coaching going on.
Yep, still plenty of time for New Caledonia. It's going to be very interesting if they can get another one in the next few minutes.
Very different state of affairs on the Solomons bench. There doesn't seem to be, well, it's presumptuous to say it doesn't seem to be the same level of intensity, but
you just feel that swagger that they have been seen with before is not there, though. I'm looking at that as well, Gordon, and just thinking the confidence has gone a little bit. Still been some real positives today for the Solomons, and the main thing is they get a victory, of course, to stay alive. But you just feel, like a cricket batsman who's a bit out of form, they might take a while to work their way back to what we're used to. But certainly they can't afford to concede here. Otherwise, it's going to be a very worrying final 5 minutes. But hats off to New Caledonia to stay in it with only 6 left on the clock. terrific performance from these guys.
Well, we've seen them execute some set plays in a rushed fashion, and there's no significant change this time either. Just perhaps an area for New Caledonia to work on. They do get some very good set plays in decent positions, but they just can't take advantage of it with their execution. They've certainly got all the hallmarks and qualities of a team that can go a long way, or a lot further at least. And they'll be interesting to observe in the playoffs. If they do go on to lose this match, they'll be involved in the playoff for 7th and 8th, or 5th and 6th. And that is a final in itself. You certainly get the dynamics of a final.
Yep. Yes, I remember the playoff for 7 and 8 a couple of years ago was one of the great finals. Tuvalu Kiribati. Thoroughly enjoyed that one in Suva, and yeah, always a lot to play for, because the games are so infrequent, these competitions, this international futsal, so every game is a final in many respects.
Oh, Leah Lafa.
And Yuzen again, just equal to the task, but a great run from the danger man.
Look at this. Couple of step overs, a swing of the hips. The shot was, well, tell you what, it hit Yuzen in the shins. He didn't know too much about that.
Interesting, Rigomo was on again. We haven't seen an awful lot of him, and he was out again very quickly, and I just wonder whether that niggling knee injury that's been plaguing him since the World Cup is taking its toll. He hasn't looked quite as sharp as Elliot at his best. I know his mind's fully there. He's so passionate about his team, but it just may take a little bit longer before we can see him at full strength. Great ball.
Oh, and Jess Pororairoa with the volley. It was on target, but it was perhaps too soft. And Leah Lafa checking on to his right foot, but Jess Pororairoa, the hero for New Caledonia, breaking up that attack. Less than 5 minutes left on the clock. Have New Caledonia got another goal in them?
No timeouts this half.
Weimar. Well read by Leah Lafa. I can toe poke this if he wants. Well, he took too long. The closer you get to the brick wall, the bigger it appears.
It sure does, and he just needed to dink it over the top of the diving Yuzen, but straight at him, and once again the goalkeeper prevails.
Really kept them in it, Ronan Yuzen. He's been effusive in his praise, but Leah Lafa has been gifted the ball by Pororairoa.
Yeah, but he defended well. You'll be having nightmares with Leah Lafa. You wouldn't want him running at you too often, would you?
No, thank you. He's a joy to watch, though, from the security of the commentary box.
I can tell you now, Gordon, he's in the mix for our invitational team. I'm just a bit worried about him losing the ball in our own third, but we can work on that in training, I think.
Yes, I guess that also comes down to choosing other players who complement a special player like that.
Perhaps we use him in the appropriate moments.
Here is Luke Cornish. 3 minutes 38 seconds. Time ticking away for New Caledonia. The door to the semi-finals is not quite shut. Parawi still going. New Caledonia still have the ball. Cornish. So Hurleyway needs an outlet. He chooses the goalkeeper. Oh, and they're on the wrong page there. It's gone all the way to James Ageta. Now, in terms of a tactical approach. Oh, and a chance. It's away by Stevenson has a go. Osafello.
Unbelievable.
Parawi.
Lealafa magic again. It just wouldn't go in. Easy gets her now with Lealafa ranging on the right.
What would you do as New Caledonia coach here, Paul? I mean, they have to...
I'd call a timeout. I think just settle it down, because 6-4 is it's still within your grasp. 2 minutes 44 on the clock. I just sense that you just need to settle it down for a little bit. Here's the flying keeper now. Ragomo's in.
Well, this is an opportunity as well for New Caledonia, perhaps. Oh, Ragomo, can you believe it? Now, a goal has been given, but my first look at that, I thought it hit the base of the post and came out. It must have hit...
I think it was in.
Hit the back stanchion. Here's another look at it. Yes, there's no doubt about that. It's struck one of the weights behind the goal and bounced straight back out. You can see George Stevenson punching the air with delight.
Yeah, always good to score when you've used the flying goalkeeper.
Good save by Uzen.
Perhaps my mistake, Gordon. Perhaps New Caledonia, have they used their timeout?
I think they may have.
Yeah, I just think you know, it would be one of your first options here. Ragomo is back in, and he'll be relishing this opportunity to play as the fifth man.
Well, it also offers an opportunity for New Caledonia to counter-attack. Uzen's execution was wrong in so very many ways.
Yeah, every keeper's eyes light up at the opportunity of a retreating goalkeeper after the flying goalkeeper has taken his place on the bench, and the real goalkeeper returns. Talo, of course, the most famous exponent of it in the region after his amazing finish against Guatemala in the World Cup. Here's Ragomo now, looking for the back post.
Lealafa.
Solomon Islands really enjoying this stanza here. And some big gaps opening up too.
Lealafa. Stevenson. Oh, and off the line by Kauui.
Yep, Kauui's done his bit today. Tremendous, once again. It's a good ball.
Gomo, oh, he's hit the upright, Stevenson. And here's a chance.
Just wide.
Just wide by Waimar.
Exciting stuff for the crowd. It's good to see the confidence of the teams to use the flying keeper. Traditionally, the Oceania tournaments, we haven't seen a lot of it, and it's a world trend.
Here's Ragomo, the flying keeper. Pororairoa. Paule. Saihuliwa.
New Caledonia a bit slow there. They missed their opportunity. Talo took ages to get into the D, and the moment passed.
So we're closing in to the final minute of this clash. Absorbing match to open match day 2. And it looks as though the Solomon Islands are going to get their first win of the tournament. That keeps them within touching distance of a semi-final spot. It will perhaps require further work in the form of beating Malaysia tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Osafello.
They're certainly capable of beating Malaysia, but just struggling a little bit for rhythm at times. But no better time for it to come than the decider, really, in this group.
Kauui. Corners. Parawi. kick in. Tahuliwa gives it away, but Osafalo does the same. Oh, and that wasn't far away. Kauhui, Manon Kauhui with the long range shot. He just hit it first time, and I'll tell you what, that was only about a foot outside the right hand upright of Anthony Talo's post.
I'm looking forward to looking at the shot statistics on this game, Gordon. It was something like 26-13 in the first half, but it'll be many, many more after that.
Full-time whistle goes. It's been a wonderful match, and the Solomon Islands have prevailed. They've won by 7 goals to 4, and let's take a look back at an entertaining match. Mika Leolafa robbed Waimara of the ball, 5-2 for the Solomons, and that gave some breathing space for the Dixon Caddos coach side. And then from the near post corner, Eric Saihuliwa, I think it hits the base of Anthony Talo's boot and then in off the post. Frustration for him, and Saihuliwa happiness. And then an own goal from Jess Pororairo. Just human instinct to just stick a foot out, and it's come off the base of his heel and shot into the roof of the net. And then one of the goals of the game from Ivan Pororairo. He absolutely skinned James Ageta, and then Talo had no chance. Look at that, step over, away with the outside of the right, and then whack. Solomon Islands weren't finished, using the flying goalkeeper, Elliot Rigomo, combining with George Stevenson, and next stop, back of the net. And that is the benefit of having a player with the strength, a pivot, the strength of George Stevenson.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good point, Gordon.
So Solomon Islands have won by 7 goals to 4. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, and on behalf of my co-commentating colleague Paul Tui, we'll wish you a short farewell, and we'll see you back here for the next match between Tahiti and the New Zealand Invitational side. Goodbye.